of Zoning Appeals is called to order. At this time, please silence all electronic devices. To comply with Title 6 of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the city requests that participants in this meeting complete a voluntary anonymous survey that is available on the table at the back of the room. To pledge allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
John, will you do roll call?
Roy, Alan,
Here.
Dick,
Here.
Ken, Phil.
Here. In our packets, we have minutes from the July 5th, 2022 meeting. Is there any changes or corrections that need to be done?
I'll make a motion to approve them as presented.
I'll second.
Voice vote.
Yeah, voice vote.
Roy, Alan,
Aye.
Dick,
Aye.
Phil.
Aye.
There is no old business on the agenda, and we have new business.
Okay, so our first people on the agenda are not here, so we will move on. They show up with all the others you have. Good evening. The second item on new business on the agenda is for Ken and LeeAnn Woodhull at 809 West 11th Street. They're going to be putting in a semi in-ground pool in their backyard. They already have an accessory structure, so they are seeking a variance to be able to have this pool put in their yard. Letters went out. I received no complaints. There was one gentleman that called. He couldn't be here this evening. He lives at 810 West 11th Street. His only concern is that the company doesn't block any driveways or mailboxes, and they don't leave dirt and all that kind of stuff in the street. So, with that,
Can I,
You guys wanna come
ask
in?
a question,
Sure.
you, Chris or Sarah? What's the purpose of the no to, what's it called? The
Accessory buildings?
Accessory structures, yeah.
that's how it's written in the
It's
ordinance.
just the way it's always been.
I feel like it just keeps coming up lately, and it's,
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a,
Well, it's never really been, I don't think, made an issue in the past when it should have been.
I think we're probably having just more enforcement than previous administrations.
okay.
But as to why it exists, I don't know.
Is it safety, is it,
I suspect it's more of a clutter, particularly on some of the smaller lots, where you start getting, we have had situations where people who have multiple structures are actually having people live in them,
oh, it's
which is
okay.
always a safety
Yeah,
issue.
makes sense.
But I think it's something, I certainly think it's something we should probably look at a little bit more earnestly when we start doing the unified
We're in,
ordinance
Yeah, we're in
process,
the
but I
middle
think
of that,
Sarah's
so-
already in that process now.
Okay, yeah, good.
I'll let you ask questions of them if you have any.
So I have a question just because I don't know, what is a semi-in-ground pool? Is it like in a deck or?
They dig 26 inches down and it's 26 inches up, so it looks a little fancier, a little nicer, a little more landscaping.
Cool. And do you already have a fence?
We have a chain link fence, which we were told that was, with a lot, that was good.
Yep. That's sufficient.
When are you gonna have this done? Or when are you waiting for your approval? Waiting for.
Probably won't be till the end of August. They told us they could have done it in July, but, we had to do this, so hopefully before.
Well, thank you for doing it in the right way.
Yes, thank you.
We had no idea there was lots of pools out there. we had no idea, we were kind of blown away, and it's like, okay, we're sorry.
Does anybody have any questions?
No.
Anybody from the audience have any questions? Anything to add? Take a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
We will do roll call though.
Ellen,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Phil.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good to go.
That's it, you win.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good job.
Thanks.
Good call.
I wasn't aware I had to remind them every meeting.
So, that's the only thing
Not that I'm
I'm
worried
worried about is the setback.
about. Oh, Before we get to the next one, you all are aware to keep in mind the 5 questions that I sent you a month or so ago, a month and a half ago, before break. You ready to move on?
Whenever you are.
Okay. Next up, we have Todd and Rebecca Miller from 906 North Hamilton Drive that have already put a carport up for their RV. And he wasn't aware, they were not aware that they needed to seek variance because they also have an accessory structure already. So this one, however, does meet the setbacks. It's not in right of way. I have received no complaints, concerns, or anything from any of the surrounding property owners. As you can see, there's pictures here. It's very clean, well done. So that is what they are here for this evening.
Okay, I was not aware, as you can imagine, it's a large lot, it's sideways from my garage, as you can tell. It's not hurting the looks of the property by no means. I have since then even blacktopped all the gravel. So it is, you know, it's an asset to the city as far as, you know, the way the property looks and stuff, so. That's why I'm here seeking the variance, after the fact.
Well, thank you for coming in after the fact. So, it's been up for a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's in line with property, you know, it's not sticking out or anything.
Is it even taller than the house?
No.
No, I was gonna say.
You have to come down the street quite a ways before you really realize that it's even
I was
there.
gonna say, it didn't look like it was.
Is that attached or could it be?
No, there's,
There's sidewalk, concrete sidewalk between it, and then it drops down into an asphalt pad, and then that's where it sits.
Do you have any neighbors?
No.
Complaints?
Does anybody else have any questions? Anybody in the audience? I will.
Can I,
Yes.
just for the record,
Yes.
I would like to note, just for consistency and application, that the last person to come before the board requesting a variance related to a carport had substantially different issues, specifically that it infringed upon a right-of-way, and that there was some question as to whether it would have an impact on the appraised value of the neighborhood specifically. You directed that individual to get additional information and would take it further under consideration. So I just want to make sure that the record is clear that you are not asking that of these individuals because of the fact that they're not even close to a right-of-way, and there's no indication from any neighbor or anyone else that this structure might have an impact on their appraised value. Correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Because it's setting up against the house, the last one has its own issues.
Right.
So,
And that's
okay.
a completely different issue. I just, to the extent that that we want the uniformity and application of the ordinance.
Sarah, you didn't get any calls or anything, did you?
No, no,
Okay.
not at all.
Any other question?
No.
I'll make a motion, or I will take a motion to approve this.
So, I'll second.
Roll call.
Ellen,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Phil.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And don't screw up anymore.
So, since
I'll
the
learn
other
my
one,
lesson.
since the other one didn't come, do we just bump it to next month?
I would say you can take whatever action you want. I think historically, you've generally given somebody at least a one meeting grace, so it'd be a motion to table for a month. And then if they don't show up a second time, traditionally, there's been a motion to either deny or.
I'll make a motion to move that one.
To table it, so next one.
No, to next month.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Ellen,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Phil.
Yes.
This is not on the agenda, so do we need to make a motion to amend the agenda, please?
Yep. Need a motion to amend the agenda to have whatever she wants to say.
I'll make it this time. I'll make the
So,
motion.
okay,
Alan made it,
second.
Phil signed it, second.
I don't know that any of you were, well, I know none of you were on the board at this time, and I wasn't in a position that I was in either, but about 3 years ago, in 2019, I believe it was, I know, just about the month, June or July, there were some people that came before the board requesting approval to put up a Morton-style building garage on Park Road on a lot that they owned. And in our ordinance, it states you cannot put an accessory structure of any kind on an empty lot. But they got approval, and they were approved with the approval that they would build on that in 3 years. Well, 3 years is here, and they have not built. I'm not quite sure how to handle that. I know none of you were, John was probably the secretary at the time, but,
They have any plans to build? I mean, do you
Have you heard from them?
no. I have not reached out yet, but I want to just know the proper,
I would reach out and ask.
Yeah, send them a letter.
Yeah, I would say my recommendation would be to start by sending them a letter. I would have to think through, because after the end of the year, the first year, it would have become permanent variance, I would assume.
Unless
But it's a use variance, not.
yeah, it's not like a temporary
Yeah,
thing.
it's not a
It was-
thing,
They
so-
were granted a variance.
I would presume that if it was a conditionally granted use variance, that they have not met the conditions of, then they have failed to meet the conditions precedent for the variance, and the variance could be revoked, would be my, as I sit here right now with having done zero thought process
Yeah,
until before
and
you
I knew
started
this was
talking.
gonna catch everybody off
Yeah.
guard, but I'm just,
I would say my recommendation would be to send them a letter advising, reminding them that they did take an action, and that if they want some relief from that, requirement, they will need to come ask this body for that relief. Because I could very easily also see someone saying, well, I had every intention of building a building, and then
cost.
COVID happened, cost of lumber, and blah, 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 blah,
Right.
and now I just need more time.
Right, I just wanna follow up on it, and I just wanted to make sure that, you know,
Is there any notes or anything from that?
not much.
Okay.
Sir, is there any chance the property's changed hands?
No,
Okay.
I checked that just within the last month.
Yeah, I'd send them a letter asking for them to either bring in plans showing that they're gonna build something or
Okay.
give an explanation.
Remember the people yet?
Daniel and Maya Batterton. Okay, thank you.
there is nothing else, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.